Welcome to The Explainer. Today we're going to talk about sexual health, but probably not in the way you're used to. We're going to treat it as your body's most honest, most direct check engine light. We'll break down the science that connects your blood flow, your hormones, pretty much everything, and show you what this one vital sign is really telling you about your overall health.
So let's just dive right in with a really important question. Could a problem with your sexual function actually be your body's way of flashing a warning light? A sign that there's a deeper, more systemic issue going on? Well, the scientific evidence on this is crystal clear. Yes, absolutely.
This statement from medical experts really forces us to reframe the entire conversation. Erectile dysfunction isn't just a lifestyle issue, not at all. It's a critical medical red flag. And in so many cases, it's the very first visible sign of underlying cardiovascular disease.
And here's the really simple reason why that is. The arteries that supply the penis are just much smaller than the coronary arteries of your heart. So think about it. If plaque is starting to build up in your system, where is it going to show up first? In these smaller vessels. They are, quite literally, the canary in the coal mine for your entire cardiovascular system.
Okay, so if sexual dysfunction is that flashing light on your dashboard, what's actually happening under the hood? Well, it all starts with this incredibly important inner lining of all your blood vessels.
This lining has a name. It's called the endothelium. Now, it's only a single layer of cells thick, but don't let that fool you. It acts like a master control center for your entire circulatory system. It's a dynamic, active organ that really determines the health and performance of every single blood vessel in your body. And you can see the difference here. When your endothelium is healthy, man, everything just flows smoothly. Your vessels stay relaxed and open, inflammation is kept in check, and you don't form dangerous clots. But when it becomes dysfunctional, the whole system flips. Blood flow gets restricted, inflammation starts to take over, and your clotting risk goes up. This is what sets the stage for really serious disease.
So what is it that keeps this system running like a well-oiled machine? Well, it really comes down to one critical molecule. Think of it as the fuel for flow, the stuff that keeps that endothelium healthy and doing its job.
And that molecule is nitric oxide, or NO. It's just a simple gas, but its job is absolutely massive. It's the primary messenger that tells your blood vessels, hey, relax, open up. And that's essential not just for an erection, but for controlling your blood pressure and getting oxygen to every part of your body.
So how do we actually make this stuff? It's a really elegant process. Your body takes an amino acid, L-arginine, and then, with a little help from an enzyme called enos, it converts it into nitric oxide. This is happening constantly, all the time, inside healthy blood vessels to keep your circulation at its best.
But its role goes way beyond just blood flow. Nitric oxide is actively fighting against clots, it's inhibiting plaque from building up, and it's reducing inflammation inside the vessel walls themselves. It really is the master protector of your entire cardiovascular system.
And right here, this is the root cause. When your body simply can't produce enough nitric oxide, that endothelium becomes dysfunctional. It's this deficiency, this lack of NO, that kicks off the whole cascade of problems we talked about. Constricted vessels, inflammation, plaque buildup, and that's what ultimately triggers that check engine light.
Now let's kind of zoom out a bit, because this isn't just a story about blood vessels. This poor circulation and endothelial dysfunction has a profound system-wide impact, and that brings us to the hormone connection.
So how does this all connect? Well, you have to think of it like a two-way street. Your blood vessels are the delivery system. They're the highways for hormones like testosterone. If those highways are clogged, the delivery is going to fail. But at the same time, having balanced hormones is critical for keeping those very same highways healthy in the first place. It's a feedback loop.
To really get this connection, experts in hormone optimization, like Dr. Kyle Gillette, emphasize these 6 foundational pillars. See, a hormone level never exists in a vacuum. It's supported by everything you do, what you eat, how you move, how well you sleep, and even your mental and spiritual well-being.
Okay, so that's the science. We know the check engine light is on. We know what's going wrong under the hood. So the big question is, what does the owner's manual say we should do about it? Let's walk through an actionable, science-backed protocol to get things running smoothly again.
We've basically distilled the solution down into a clear 3-step vitality protocol. These are things you can start doing to rebuild your vascular and hormonal health from the ground up.
So first things first, you have to give your body the right raw materials. You have to fuel it for flow. This means getting dietary nitrates from foods like leafy greens and beetroot to directly support that nitric oxide pathway. It also means making sure you have the amino acid building blocks, like L-arginine and L-citrulline. And of course, getting key minerals like zinc and magnesium, which are critical for hundreds of metabolic reactions in the body.
All right, step 2 is to actively work on those foundational pillars. You know, a Mediterranean-style diet has been shown time and again to improve both heart health and sexual function. Exercise, it directly stimulates your endothelium and can give you a nice hormone boost. And please, do not underestimate sleep. It is one of the most powerful performance-enhancing drugs for vascular repair. And finally, managing stress is completely non-negotiable because chronic stress is a direct toxin to your blood vessels.
And the final step is to build a system that's sustainable. Look, true health is not a 30-day challenge. It's the result of small, consistent habits that compound over time. This also means being proactive with your health. Work with your doctor to track those key markers, blood pressure, insulin sensitivity, and create a real long-term plan for your vitality.
So if there's one thing to take away from all of this, it's to shift your perspective. Stop thinking of sexual health as something separate or maybe even taboo. It's time to start treating it as the vital, honest indicator of your overall health that it really truly is.
And that brings us to this final, and I think most critical message. Do not ignore the check engine light. Paying attention to it isn't just about performance or quality of life right now, it's about prevention for the future. Addressing this signal and addressing it promptly could be one of the most important decisions you ever make for your long-term health.